Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning?
Morning. I'm just fine. How about yourself? How was your holiday?
My holiday was really nice. I really wanted to play it low key, but the family wanted to get together, and we had some family members that came from uh, another state, Mississippi, and we got to have a great time with them. Played family games.
That is
My daughter
nice.
actually
That sounds
bought this
like a
game
real good
called
time.
Love Yourself.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
asked
Exactly.
questions. So the teenagers got involved and they got to share their, it was a safe space. So it was really nice. How was yours?
No, it was okay. I had a lot of self-care.
Ooh.
I took out the time to do me. I took out the
All
time to
right, all right. Well, you're
Yeah,
looking good.
absolutely do me. Got a bunch of rest in, which I was so happy with that. I mean, I was
Great.
sleeping anytime I wanted to sleep and waking up anytime I wanted to wake up. I couldn't ask for nothing more.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank everyone that came to join us this lovely day for another talk with our corporate conversations host, Gemini and Rasha, and hopefully our guest host will show up today. But if you're liking the conversations that you're hearing, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. So, we're going to get into our talk for today regarding our next theme, which is a great theme. So, if you don't know
We're not
what
doing
your
that theme
DNA
today.
is, we're going to tell you what your DNA is, what makes you tick, what makes you work the way you work, how does it work when you work in a corporate setting using your best self.
Okay. Okay. Well, listen, I kind of deviated just slightly, right?
Okay.
Because we had the partial shutdown. And
Yes.
so the partial shutdown kind of, that was affecting everything that we were doing at work. And it was a lot, right? It was a lot. I'm
Right.
talking about, Lord, I didn't think I was going to make it that week. It was a lot to do before the end of the year. So
Hmm.
I figured when we're in situations where the government puts us in a precarious situation, such as furlough, what should we be doing? And so I found this other great book while I was in my search called You Are the Leader You've Been Waiting For by Eric Klein. So I don't know if you can see it here, but you'll
It's,
see it in the in
it's
the in
blurred
the
out just a little bit. I'm not sure why.
yeah, it's kind of
Okay,
blurry.
now, yeah, now, okay, let's see if you can hold it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here it
Yeah,
is
that
right
looks
here.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I found another book called "You Are the Leader You've been waiting for," and I thought we would kind of crack open that in between our Strength Finder series, so that we can empower people, right? Because
Mhm.
that's the whole name of the game. Like when they say no, we still say yes,
Mhm.
right? Um, we still get ourselves and gather our strength and do whatever we need to do until that time comes. And so, if that means personal development, education, going back to school, getting a part-time job, creating your own job, whatever that looks like. I feel like people should
Mhm.
do that and you
Mhm.
can't always depend on the government for everything that you need.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to be what you need
Yes. Why settle
and
for
not
the
the government.
situation? Why settle? You can always change your the way that you handle it. You could always change the setting that you're in. You can change that situation. You just have to make the connection and work on yourself to make things happen. Because if it
You
has
have
to
to
be, it
commit
starts
to.
with you. It
Yeah,
has, yeah, you have the commitment. You got to have the accountability. You have to have the desire. You got to have the want to.
you gotta have the want to. You have to, and that's the hardest part because we've been so beat down as people for
Oh
the
yeah.
longest of time, right? And so a lot of us have come to this place where we're like, listen, another shutdown, a bunch of wars, a bunch of crazy going on, weather, atmospheric type, it's a lot. And so we depend on each other instead of looking at it as, okay, I depend on my man, I depend on my spouse.
Hmm.
No, we depend on each other, right? We
Mm.
depend on each other for our needs in time of need, especially in a time of tight situations. And
Yeah, because
that's what
right,
we have to get back to. Yeah, we have to
right.
get back. We have to get in the game. So we tapping y'all in the game, coach. so to
Yes,
speak.
'cause right now is not the time for gatekeeping. We need to share all of our resources. We need to level up. We need to get ourselves in position so we can win, even when the atmosphere or the way things
Yeah,
are
the
going, it doesn't
economy
seem
is
to be
down or
going the right
whatever.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the
absolutely.
economy is going to do what it's going to
That's
do.
exactly
Now
what we
you got
need
to
to be
decide
doing.
to do what you're going to do.
And so, yeah, and so that's why I just decided to break
Yeah.
out, crack open another book while I was,
Okay.
in the midst of looking for everything else. I was like, oh, this is the perfect book because we really do want to empower people, right? We don't want you
Right.
just sitting at home like, woe is me, the government this and the government that. So what? We don't care. We are a
Hmm.
resilient type of people. The only
Hmm.
thing we should be caring about is figuring out our next step, our next move
Right.
to tap ourselves back into the game of life so that we can
Hmm.
keep on winning. It's not about starting over. No, it's about rebuilding what was already there, taking
Hmm.
that thing, taking ourselves to the next level.
Using what you got. Use what you have.
So
Make that next move your best move.
that's it right there. That is so it. So let me I see Sakina in the chat. I'm gonna just drop the link in there just in case she may want to hit it because I know she get itchy fingers. Sakina get the notion like, you said tap me in, coach, tap me in for real.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the starting chapter of that book.
Yeah, let me sit here and make sure that gets in there. We got our mod, Salaya Binya.
Oh, all right.
Peace.
Good
Peace to you.
morning. Good morning.
Yeah, it's good to see you. I wish you would come up here and tell us about your holiday, you or Sakina, because before we go into this book, it would be nice to see what people are out there doing, um, kind of unwinding because we get another 2 days, right? So wait a minute, Rasha, because you may know this. So are they going to give us the 31st off too, like they gave us the 25th off?
I do not know. I knew that the 24th was coming, and I kept telling people, well, "What do you want to do?" Because they give us like a 2 hour holiday um time to do something. Either you want to go to lunch or come in late or leave a little bit early. And people were picking the 24th. I was like, well, are you sure you want to keep that date? Because we might be off that day. So I'm not sure. It's possible. Hopefully the trend continues, but it didn't last
I hope
year.
so. Yeah, I hope so. I really do because I mean, boy, I can get some good sleep in before I have to report.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I can get some good R&R. Because I okay, so wait. Let me update you. So remember we were talking about my pay the
Right.
last time. Okay. So girl, they did that. They gave me a grade 10 pay with a few dollars on the back end
All right.
of that. With my and I was so concerned.
Hey,
I was like, I'm gonna have to take less. I'm gonna have to, just make it work,
bite the dust or bullet or
yeah.
whatever it is. Oh
Hey girl, they
wow. But
increased
that's
my pay.
amazing.
They sure did.
Great. That's
They sure
good.
did. I was like, I don't know how they pulled that off, but they did. And I'm so completely satisfied when I got the
Yes.
firm offer. Yeah, I was so satisfied. So, what you know about that? What you know about
That's awesome. That's really
that?
good.
So, okay. So, wait, you got any stories for us before we crack open this? You got any work stories, deliciousness? You got some tea about the
Oh,
work environment? What's been going on, girl?
well, I mean, people are just laying low. Hopefully, we're able to work from home for the next week or so because it was supposed to be 2 weeks, but
Yes.
trying to get everybody to get that bandwidth and make sure they have everything together so their computers are working properly. That's one issue that we're dealing with. So, if it's not working properly, I had to, have people come back in. They didn't like it. They didn't feel it was fair, but that's the only thing we could do. You can't just sit home and get paid not to do anything, you know?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Why people can't? Why we look? Why people can't just sit around and get paid? That's what people do.
Well, see, I remember a long time ago there would be a downtime where maybe nothing could happen, and that kind of happens through the first part of the year, maybe like the first couple of weeks where there is a downtime situation going on where okay, well maybe we can't do too much, but um, they've always come up with things for us to do, working inventory, working making sure that we're sending out our correspondence, or going back through inventories that have to be worked, that weren't able to be worked while we were working specifically on phones. So
I don't like
um
y'all codex. I don't like y'all letter. I don't like the way y'all department sends
our
letters.
department
Cause
sends it.
y'all use the letter tool. That is so ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
letter
even
tool.
understand that letter tool. What the hell is that
That
in the first place? Like,
Well, we've gotten better. We've gotten a letter application, but it's still it's
God,
derived off of the old school letter tool. So let's say if I'm trying to do a letter, I have to do so many lines and brackets and numbers, and if I get it wrong and I can't figure out where I messed it up, I'm starting over. That was a long time
okay, but
ago.
what I'm saying is that okay, you do know in my department that I'm leaving, we write our own letters according to the needs of the people. So,
We've
the only time
never
we use that letter tool is if we
uh
have to disallow like a claim or something like that. Then we're going to use that letter tool. But other
right.
than that, that is a complete like we have blurbs and generic paragraphs that we use that we keep all the time to expand or expound upon. And
Mhm.
we don't have to, and so the letter tool, so time consuming if you don't know how to use it.
For us, we've always been discouraged to not, use our own words. We always have to use a prefabricated letter. And only thing that we would do is put in the specific years and periods. So we wouldn't get too specific. The only specifics we will put it would be the actual periods, times, dates,
Because they
conversations.
don't
Other than
trust
that,
y'all. They don't
everything
like
else was
y'all.
prefab.
That's what's going on right there. They don't like y'all.
Everything
They
was
don't trust y'all to
pre-populated.
write letters. They
Yeah,
don't
we
trust
wouldn't do
y'all.
it.
None of y'all
Yeah,
right.
we don't write letters. We collect. we collect and extract.
That's true. Now that's true right there. Break it
we
down,
don't do
sister. Break
we
it
don't
down.
do
Yeah,
too much
y'all
of that.
collect. That's right. Pay me or else. That's
And
right.
then even when I would get someone would say, "Well, you sent me a nasty gram," and I like, these letters
Okay.
are not made specifically for each person. They are just sent out for statute purposes in order for us to receive and
See,
retrieve.
and this is why they can't put us lump us all together because
Right.
each and every
Different
last one
department.
of us do something so differently.
Hmm.
It is this night that's today, right?
Right.
It's not
But
today. Yeah.
I've always said that each department is supposed to do what it's supposed to do. So it's kind of like we're facets of a
Yes.
diamond. So you have your section, I have my section, and we're supposed to shine
Exactly.
bright when
And
the
that's
light is
how we
shining
make
on
it
us,
work and
but
put it all together. Yeah.
we're not supposed to be cross working through departments, because then it gets a little bit messy. But once we do what we're supposed to do, we can really fine tune it, perfect it, but you can't perfect change.
Yeah.
Can't
No,
perfect
that's true.
change.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And you guys do a great job. I don't want your job either. I think this new department I'm going to is like my job that I
Uh-huh.
already do, but it's on steroids.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm a little, I'm a little hesitant or a little scared. I cannot say that I'm not scared to go into this brand new
Mhm.
department, but in the same breath, I'm just for me, I'm worried about my energy level because normally I'm
Right.
at a 10,000 for energy. Right?
I
I'm
think
at a
you're gonna
10
be
billion.
excited.
Let's just
I
yeah,
think your
but
excitement is gonna
lately
take
since I've
over.
gotten older,
I know.
Russia, the age factor then
Yeah.
kicked in. And now instead of me being on 10 billion, I'm more like on 1 billion. And I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
scared about that. I'm like, damn, what's going on?
I think it's
I'm gonna
gonna
have to
work out
find another way.
perfectly. I think the adrenaline is gonna kick in, and then it's like, oh, new, new, new. Oh, this is new. Oh, this
I'm
is
so
new.
dependent on that damn adrenaline. I am
Yeah.
so dependent upon the adrenaline. I wish they could
Yeah.
bottle that for real and just there's the line for that shit. Like,
Mhm.
yes, adrenaline. I'm so dependent upon the adrenaline. I hope
Right.
so.
And I know when you get into new positions, the emails can be overwhelming, but you just have to take a deep breath, get through the emails, and try to just figure out how you're going to work the way you're going to work. And then the mentors are very important. Having a someone that's there that knows the position to kind of guide you, who's organized, who's
Oh, girl,
doing their job
what
correctly.
job you talking about? You must be talking about somebody else's job when you say all
Well,
that.
you
Who
know
job you talking about?
that's the way it should work. That is the
Who
way it
job you
should
talking about,
work.
Rashford?
That's the look. That's the way it should work in a perfect world.
Get somebody to help and no, you know where we were. Girl, help your damn self. Figure
That's
it
true.
out. Go get
That's
with the
true. You got to take the
program.
initiative, pick up the baton, and start running,
There you go.
or
Snap, snap.
sink or
Why
swim.
you
That's what
moving
we
so
felt.
damn
We felt like
slow?
they just threw us in the pool, the deep end of the pool, and we had to sink or swim.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's gonna be. You know what? But you're right about that. You made me feel better when you said the adrenaline. I'm feeling much
yeah.
better
So I think you get
because I
excited
just
when
we
you're
have to
doing
get
something
into
new.
the
It's like, okay, well,
atmosphere.
what's going on here? Where's
Yeah,
where are they hitting gems here? Where can I find? Where's the
yeah.
Easter egg? You
Oh,
know?
girl, you know I'm gonna sit here and bust that system wide open. It don't
Okay,
make no kind of sense. They ain't ready for this. They ain't ready, but they're gonna find out because I'm always ready, right? So they're gonna
right.
find out.
Always stay ready.
Yeah, they're gonna find out that she already botched my name. I mean my department and everything. She sent out this email blast like new changes for the staffing department, and then she had me under some under some craziness. And I reached back out to her and said, that's not the department I came from." Then she goes, "Oh well, you know what? You should just write a 3 minute the paragraph, couple of paragraphs about yourself and where you come from and what you do."
Oh boy.
Girl, bye. Girl, Bob, really? So you turn my
Mhm.
moment into an opportunity for you to always be in charge. It's like I want to say so bad, like, girl, we know you in
Mhm.
girl, we know you in charge. You ain't gotta act like that. We know you running this department. It ain't even all that
Mhm.
deep.
Yeah,
But
the
you
main
know,
thing is trying to get with the department. Um, I wouldn't say leaders, but the people
no,
that
no, cause some of them want to stay again like her, like her. She want to let you know at every turn she is the one in charge. She's leaving pretty soon, and I'm banking on
Mhm,
that. Like whoever the new
mhm.
person is I don't know her, and whoever
Right.
the new person that's coming in to take her place, I'm banking on this other person to have a different attitude, a
But
different
I'm not
something.
saying the people that are in charge. I'm talking about the people who will be working under you. Those people that have
Oh no, it's too many to make it personal.
responsibilities.
This too many people. It'll be too many
Mhm.
people because down
Okay.
there is literally the entry level. This is where at least
Mhm.
2,500, 3,000 people easily at one time every day coming to one side of the campus.
Okay.
And so it is so many people down there. It's
Mhm.
ridiculous. You just kind of I almost want to liken it to not manufacturing.
Okay.
Um,
But it's like a lot of moving parts.
cookie cookie cutter work,
Mhm.
cookie
Mhm.
cutter redundant
Mhm.
type of situation. I mean, conveyor belt, right? You do
Mhm.
you stamp, you send it to you give it to the next person. They may sign, give it to the next person. They make and give it to the next person. They make
Mhm.
and they make. So you got to keep the line like there's a line of work that we do because
Mhm.
down there we don't use technology. All of that is really dependent upon man-made man-made work, right? We
Okay.
get in there, people that they hire actually get in there and do the work, and so it's
Mhm.
all manual. And so it's a lot of moving. It's almost like cogs, Rasha.
Ah. Yeah.
So there's a cog system, right?
Mhm.
And so to keep the cogs running smart. You have to be able to know how to produce it.
Okay. Are they going to be scanning or do they? Because I know sometimes
They
we
do
see
everything
scans and sometimes
imaginable.
we
It's
don't.
no, they do everything imaginable. Everything.
Okay.
Every piece of our department starts there. Every piece of anybody's department
Hmm.
starts there.
Right.
These are the people who, again, there's no computers. It's all manual.
Hmm.
Each person has a job, and there's thousands. There are hundreds of people at any given time,
Hmm.
everywhere. That's anywhere. So you
Right.
have to literally keep up with them, keep up with their time. They're very strict. They don't like you to eat, sleep, or breathe.
Hmm.
And
It's
so this
just.
is where you're going to get your humble beginnings to get broke in
Hmm.
to the company at large. They're going to break
Hmm.
you right there.
So it's
So
all
it's very different.
Inspector 12 oriented. It goes from one person to the next person and it has to keep moving. It's almost like a conveyor
Has
belt.
to keep moving.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm sure we get so
has to
many
keep
parcels
moving.
throughout the day, thousands of parcels throughout the day.
Yes. Yeah,
Some
yeah.
of it might be
Because, you know,
checks, some of it might be, paper redacted letters or
some
things
of it
that they
might
have to
be this,
send
that,
in.
the third. They do everything
Right,
from open up the mail to,
right,
to get it going to every single place, including if it has to be mailed out to, let's say, where you are.
right.
Yes, Sally, yeah, yes, like hitting the ground running type thing. It is never a dull moment. And so,
Yes.
these people, a lot of them are introverted. They don't want to do anything else in the first place.
Hmm.
Otherwise, they could. They will move around.
Hmm.
But doing one thing around there all the time is a lot better than doing your job or my job, per se,
Hmm.
where we do 50 million billion things all at one time. Because I consider myself a master multitasker. So where they may say people can only do one thing good at a time. No, for people like me, that's not the truth. I can
Hmm.
do several things very well at one time. It's matter of fact, it's the way I function. I
Hmm.
can't do the one thing good because I'm so used to doing 12 things
Hmm.
every day. 13 things. Keep on adding. I mean, I'm gonna figure it out and get it done. And I do that every single day. I
Hmm.
multitask. There's not a moment in my career where I have not multitasked. And so it makes me very good for things like inventory, makes me very good for things where you have very small, fine details,
Hmm.
technical, very small, technical. That's the lane right there.
Right.
So going
Hmm.
to this new place,
Hmm.
minus the attitudes, I think it's a good fit. But I'm glad the lady, the big boss, I'm glad she moving around. Move around, girl.
Hmm.
She taking too long. I don't want to see her on Monday. No, I'm just playing. She taking too damn long. I don't want to see her face come Monday.
So I was planning on staying home, but it looks like I'm going to go in Monday. So I have some things to do, mail to get out, and all kind of stuff that needs to be taken care of. In
You talking
addition
about on
to
Monday?
making sure I use at least I got at least 2 days that I got to take before I lose it. So I'm really mindful about that too. So I might go in and then leave early.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, that's cool too.
yeah, you
Definitely
saw I cut
cool.
out on
So
Friday.
but we gonna have another long, satisfying week. It's okay. You need to use those 2 days. So you
Yeah.
come in on the 30th. So if we get the 31st off, which I'm hoping we do, and then
Mhm.
the first off, we definitely get the first off. You can be using
Mhm.
yours actually for the second and third. Girl, you could be balling. You don't have to
Yeah.
come in there like everybody else to the rest of the big wigs. They
Uh-huh.
not scheduled to do back to the seventh.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. The ninth.
And see, that comes with time. That's I think you got to sacrifice, let's say, to get to that point to where you have hours that you can get rid of or have to dispose of. you have to sacrifice probably like at least a year and a half of coming in and making sure that you're consistent without using PTO or sick leave.
Yes,
And so,
absolutely.
yeah, you
Absolutely.
really
Put
got to
that in
build
no
it
other
up.
way.
So if you need it, you can use it. And if you have it there,
Hmm.
then they know that, hey, this person's coming in. So if they're asking for time off, let's go ahead and make sure we work with them because they actually are coming to work. They're not earning and burning it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be quite the something. Well, you still have 2 days of use and
Yes.
lose. I don't, but I'm almost to the 200s for my annual
Okay.
and because I use all of it when my son
Right.
passed.
Right.
I was off work 4 months,
Yeah.
literally 4 months saved up. Right, I was
Yeah.
falling out there in them streets.
Right.
Happy
Right.
not to come to work, happy not to, do all those other things. But I'm almost up to back to the 200s. I have not missed a single day. Well, I have missed one day. I think I've missed one day. But other than that, yeah, work is every day, right?
Right. And there's one other good thing about that. We have the employee assistance program that will assist with various issues that you have. If you're dealing with financial issues, hard times, they have counselors, they have different, I think, classes that you can go through that actually have the personality um, test that you can take as well through EAP.
Hmm.
Um, we have a lot of programs that will
You trust
assist
them at
employees.
work though? I don't trust them at
Uh,
work. I don't
so
trust them.
it's not necessarily at work because it is through a third party. It is through
Okay.
third. There are some campuses that have I want to say a I want to say counselor. I don't think they're therapists that are there on campus, but we even have nurses available where we can go to if somebody's not feeling well. They get checked out before they leave, just in case maybe we need to call an ambulance or something. Ambulance to uh, send them to a care facility, but we do have nurse practitioners on site that can kind of look at you and determine if you need further assistance. So we do have employee resources
Yeah, yeah, we have that too. I think every
available.
campus has those resources. But it's good to let everybody know that if you are
Right.
at a campus or at a certain corporate place, you have the nurse, you have the counselors, you have
Right.
we have actually a union in ours. There are several resources that you can just go
Right.
to. That's one of the perks and benefits of working in a corporate situation because get you have a lot of things where it could possibly help you out in a tight spot.
And then your first line of
You don't have
defense
to go
is
very far.
having that conversation. The conversation has to go to your manager. You don't have to go into detail. You don't have to tell them everything that's going on, but you do need to let them know if you need to take some time off, if you're having some issues with maybe there's a situation that you need to deal with. You need to let them know something. So maybe they can come up with another idea how to handle it.
Well,
If
we're
you're
way
not
past that. If there's something wrong with these new people.
That's
Being
what I'm
sorry
saying.
as a
That's why
person.
I'm putting it out there because it's like they
Something
don't
wrong with these
know.
new people
Check
again,
with your
again.
manager first, and then if they're not assisting or trying to help, then you would go to your union if you're not being treated fairly. But a lot of them are going straight to the union and saying, "Hey, I need this and I need that," but you didn't even try to work with your direct line of who would approve what you need because you still need to get approval for different things. So it's
Yeah, but
important to try to
trust
work
is
with
still
your
a
leadership.
factor in a
Yeah,
situation like that.
yeah,
You know,
and
can
and
I
remember,
trust you? Can I trust that things will work out if I tell you? Are you going to use this against me?
mhm,
You know,
and see that's
so the communication should be open, but
mhm,
those are the basic ways people feel, right?
right, and so that's why I was saying you don't have to give details. You can just make a general statement of things that you might have to get taken care of in a general way, so to not go into detail. Because if people tell me they come and they want to have a request for a reasonable accommodation, you don't have to tell me what you need it for. But I might ask, hey, I might ask questions as to, what needs to be considered, or have you thought about doing this, or is there another way we can handle it? Because reasonable accommodation is to help you and assist you to work on the job.
Okay. Well, I don't know how we got into the reasonable accommodation conversation, Rassha, manager
Well,
Rassha.
what we were talking about was making sure you discuss with your frontline manager about things before you go to another party or third party first, because you want to
No,
get some
noted,
type of understanding. So yeah.
noted,
Hey,
noted,
Sakina.
sis. We got you all up in there. Got you
Yes.
all up in there. Hey, Sakina.
How was your
Seasons
holiday?
greetings. Seasons greetings. Is
Greetings,
that the
greetings,
word?
greetings.
Seasons greetings.
The
Yes.
seasons.
Yes. That way you don't offend nobody. Right? Because
That's
I don't
right.
know what
That's right.
exactly. Seasons greetings.
All right. All right.
Seasons greetings.
Okay.
Listen. Oh my God, I'm having an experience.
Okay.
I think I brought the Dakotas with me here.
Oh no.
Yes, my
Oh
body
no. See,
arguing
don't
so
see.
much.
Oh
Take the Dakotas back to where you got it from, sis. We
yeah.
ain't
Get get
having
a
all
get
Okay,
a
of
well,
that.
you
We don't
listen
feel
here,
like
and
all
I'm
of
get
that.
a
still gonna
power
take it
shot.
You and
back.
all your North Dakota cooties.
Get you some
Bring it
ginger
back,
and some
bring it
orange
back,
juice. Some
bring it
ginger
back,
and
bring it
juice.
back. Let me quit clowning because I'll be in so much pain later. Tell me some bring it back, bring it back.
Oh man, you play way too much.
Listen, y'all,
So wait
listen.
though. So but we did ask you a question, sister. We wish you would get to. We said, "How was your holiday?"
Oh my goodness, listen,
Because you went to go visit family for the
Oh,
holidays this year. Yeah, she did.
okay.
Yeah.
listen. The holidays already done wore me out, right? Um, so I spent. My niece is here. Well, she was here. Um, And so we had a little shebang because she have a game right after Christmas. So we did a little something early for her, right? Because I'm at her mom's house. And so she did something for her. And then Christmas Eve, my son and his wife and their mother-in-law, which I call her my sister, and so we went over there. Um, and listen here, they started at 4 and
Oh
it,
wow.
it, it ended at 4. And
Oh,
normally I'm home at midnight, right? So
oh,
listen here. When when you 5'7" and you sitting in the little chairs that they was throwing at people for a little hour, my knees need oil, but I'm scared.
so you trying to get up?
I'm scared because of
Get
what
up,
might be in
by.
the oil right now.
Get up,
You see what
by.
I'm saying?
Trying to stay on the scene.
Right. I don't want to wake up talking about something. I want you.
You
I
can do
remember.
James Brown. Is that what you saying? You can.
Yeah.
She like I can do the James Brown. I can do the because my knees need.
I'll wake up to
Oh,
something. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Wow.
remember. Did y'all ever see the
I
movie
can't.
Blink
I
Twice?
cannot, girl.
No, I don't think I saw Blink
Okay,
Twice.
well that's a movie to watch.
What movie?
Blink
Blink
Twice.
Twice.
Was that a scary
Oh yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's a thriller.
Yeah, but I'm talking
Mm-mm.
about I saw it on. Yeah, I haven't watched it though.
It's pretty good. It's I guess everybody trying to associate it with the oil.
Okay.
But it's even deeper than that. It gives you that kind of when that lady was stirring that tea with that spoon and said, "What did you do?" And he said
Starring
nothing, and then
James
she said,
Davis says
"Sing it."
starring Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum.
Exactly. So it puts you in the mind of that,
Okay.
but it also puts you in the mind of 12 Years a Slave for some
Oh
odd
yeah.
reason, right?
Is this
All
what you
those
did for
things
your
that you put,
holiday?
What about On
huh?
the Sky? Give us free.
Is this what you did for your holiday?
No, listen, I just
Well,
told you between a
The
12-hour
chairs.
train ride,
Oh, the train.
right? A 12-hour train ride. And then you know what my thing about rushing. And exactly, and that's what happened when I rushed. So I left the vitamins and minerals and nutrients along with maybe two of my doggone pain pills,
Oh no.
right? And one is kind of like for my nerve, right?
So on the
Listen here.
train,
So
when
I've
you
been
were
taking ibuprofen
uh
like crack.
oh
And
wow.
if I
When
could
you were
stay
on the
woke long
train,
enough,
Sakina,
listen, if I could stay woke long enough,
uh
otherwise, when somebody get me to party, they hold me hostage for 24 hours because I'm no good to tomorrow and after that, really, because I'll be like, right, because this cold weather got me on lock.
oh
And every
wow.
time it changed, because I came to know snow, and then all of a sudden it started trickling a
So
little
that
bit,
means
but then it's raining,
every
and
day though, you should be drinking a lemon
a
ginger
lemon.
tonic and a
The
pepper.
girl, listen here, this is beyond that type of stuff. I got bone on bone.
Yeah, but I'm just
Mm,
saying you should be drinking it every day. Talking about you
No,
cold.
but
So
that
you said I heard a few
I
things in
do,
there.
but that
So
has
I
nothing
don't
to
know what's
do.
beyond. I'm just
You
sitting here
know,
saying if you cold
I'm
and
pain
this snow
management.
got you, then yeah, you should be
I'm
having a
pain
tonic.
management because I have to deal with it. So I can get so far with it, and then I have to do what I got to do because I can't let it hold me back or stop
right.
me. You see what I'm saying? I just have to, do the things I got to do. That's why I say I ibuprofen myself. And then
So back
when you wake up from it, then you go, I can't even mess with that today because, you done slept damn near 12 hours trying to shake off some ibuprofen,
so
right? It
back to
hits
the
you like a nigga.
train.
Like, you're
Back
like,
to the
ah,
back to
huh?
the train. Did you have an observation deck on the train? Because when I rode the train, there was like a second level that you
Oh,
could go
yeah.
up to. Okay, because sometimes you can walk around a little bit.
Well, this the thing. My train leaves at 2:30 in the morning,
Oh,
3:30.
okay, okay, okay.
And so, everybody laid across everything, sleep or whatever. And if I went upstairs, it wouldn't be nothing up there anyway, except for the dining cart.
Mm,
Right? Even on the lower level, in order to get to the dining cart on the lower level, you have to go to the upper level because the dining cart is just a cart by itself. It's one entry in and one out. So in order to get to the dining cart level, you would always have to go to the upper level of that train
mm,
itself, and then go downstairs. They have a stairwell that go like this. It's kind
mhm.
of cute, and you go down that stairwell, and then you go to the dining cart that's downstairs on the lower level. But and
Okay.
then you would have to go back up and then cross over a train, and then go back down if you downstairs, or you can have the attendant go get your stuff for you
Mm,
on the lower level. But on the upper level, you had access.
mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know what, Sakina, you came in just at the right time. We're going to be diving into a new book. Did you hear us talking about it?
I heard you talking about some, but I ain't finna tell
Yeah,
you
it's
about
a new
some.
it's a new book
So
called "You Are the Leader You've Been Waiting On." Yeah, because we had all those issues, at work, and we had all those issues that was affecting everybody
Mhm.
when we had that partial shutdown. And so that partial shutdown, you know, I just decided, you know what are we going to do in times like this? We need to become our own leaders. We need to learn how
Right.
to really step it up to a place where we're not just because there's all types of leadership. So I don't want to minimize people's leadership because especially if you are a man out there, then we already know the way most of them get down, right?
right,
But if
that's
you
your
are a
favorite
team
word.
player, if you're a team player, then what you do is you polish up the pieces so that they can fit the part so you can get what you're trying to sit here and get. And in these days and times, we're coming together. We're not exactly separated. So this is not a male versus female issue. No, this is a coming together issue, making
Mhm.
everything fit so that you can work together so that you can always have without the government's input if need be, right?
Mhm.
So a little bit of this is a little bit of psychology. This is a little bit of psychology, a little bit of remember that last theme that we did, belief?
Mhm.
Okay.
This is it. This
All right,
is
you
this
are the
book would
leader.
fit. Yeah, this
Like,
corporate
what do
book
you
fits that
believe?
to a T. The belief
Okay.
system in your workplace, and how exactly does that work, because that might be the thing you need to get you off the bench, right? Tap you back in, coach, right, so
Yeah.
that you can get out there
And
and get yours.
you're putting the
Jane,
link in the comments, right?
yeah, James, this book, you can get this book right here on Amazon. You know what? There's a used one. You can get these used on eBay for $13, but on Amazon, this book is $40, $44.
Mm,
It's $44 used. And I had no idea, that I had this sitting around here, but it's like, now this is the time for it. This is the perfect time for it.
right.
So it's a good read. It has 5 stars on Amazon, and this book is 160 pages strong. Um, and it's not word for word 160 pages, but there is 160 pages in here. And so let me go ahead and bring up the PowerPoint so we
Okay.
can just do an introduction. So I'm going to introduce you to it, is what I'm going to do. So hold on. Let me share my screen. Can you see that, Rasha?
Not yet.
Rasha, you're not able to see
No.
this?
Now I can see. Okay, so I don't see the
Okay, you can see
PowerPoint.
this
It's
now.
coming up. Okay, now I see it.
Okay.
All right.
So this is Eric Klein. His book is
Mhm.
You Are the Leader You've Been Waiting For. Um, this is the book. Here again, this is what it looks like. You can get this book on Amazon. It's about eBay. I saw it for $13 on eBay, but on Amazon, I think it's still $44. And it starts off, and so I'm just introducing you all to the book today,
Mhm.
because again, this is a good read. We're going to kind of intertwine books that we may need for the time. So we may just pivot, crack open another book if it fits the moment, so forth and so on.
Okay.
So it starts out with light is an ancient symbol for consciousness and life. It reconnects It can reconnect you back to that inspiration, energy, and focus that brings life back into your work. And it's so interesting because if anybody was with us for that last theme, belief, you'll see how this starts to read. So the
Mhm.
first thing that I have up here that I actually went and grabbed was some data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics for 2023. This is so very interesting. So, according to the most recent data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, as of 2023, the U.S. labor force is composed roughly of 76.5% white workers, 12.8% Black or African American workers, 18.8% Hispanic or Latino workers, and 6.9 Asian workers. Now it says, with Hispanics generally having the highest employment rate among major racial groups, followed by Asians, then whites, and lastly, Black workers. That's an interesting point that Hispanics generally, but there's going to be something down at the bottom to trump that. So generally, Hispanics have the highest employment rate. So Black workers, it says the highest employment rate is Hispanics. The lowest employment rate, it says Black workers generally have the lowest employment rate compared to other major racial groups. Aha, here's the aha moment on this. While disparities exist across all racial groups, Black women tend to have a higher labor force participation than rate than Hispanics, Asian, and white women. Interesting tidbit, isn't it?
Well, if you're a leader of your household, you need to provide income.
Interesting that it says Latino workers 18.8%.
Hmm.
However, Black women tend to have a higher labor force participation. So that is actually higher than 18.8%
Hmm.
for Black women, but only 12.8% for Black or African American workers. We got to fix that, y'all.
Hmm.
I know a lot of us come from that era too, where we don't, we didn't exactly like our Black women working, but that was in 1924, 1934, 1944. We are in 2024, getting ready to go in 2025. People work, all people work. It's not a male versus a female thing at this point. It is a working together thing. I will keep on saying that. So when we talk about the community and who our community is ourselves.
Mm.
It is comprised of the male and female in a household, and then children who you have future plans for, right? Your community is your neighbor who may just be a single male or female. Right? And so we have to start looking at ourselves a little bit differently so that we can work together a little bit better for ourselves, which is our community. Ourselves and our community are one. You cannot have one without the other. So
Can
imagine
I ask you a
sitting in a
question real
meeting.
quick before you go off on that?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Go
Okay.
ahead, Stephen.
I love statistics, but I hate them at the same time. Right. So my question is, they said that it was 19% African or they say African American women. It's only 12% were Black women or
No.
African or
Black and
American.
African workers, yes. And
What?
Black women tend to have a higher labor force participation rate than them all.
Okay, now this is my question, only based on that right there because of statistics. Because one, you don't have to answer that question. You can say other when it comes to the racial piece. Right. And so this is where I be wondering where this and then when we got these abos and when they say African American or other and this and that with this problem that we have, do you see this might be a little massage because of that very reason?
Why would it be misogynistic when men have been known to be the breadwinners for
No, I'm
working
not saying that.
our
I'm
whole
saying listen,
lives?
I am talking about the number where I believe the number is higher, especially
I beg to
being
differ.
being African, being Black American. The percentage is high, is high, but it's saying we. The thing is, your favorite word. I know you finna talk about this, and I'm gonna be quiet. Um, is entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
Right. And so this is where I'm feeling like this is gonna be. But entrepreneurship and all this stuff, and when we have that choice or saying that you don't have to be Black or because that's such an issue in this conscious community. I'm only bringing that out
What
right now.
is such an issue in the conscious community? Break that part
Um
down
the
first.
being
What
the
is the
Black
exact
or
issue?
being the other or the this, that, or the other. I'm only asking when it comes to that. Do you think it might be where the number might be a little higher for us, especially in African American women? Not saying that, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
we know it's this many women. I believe it's more African American women than the number states because I know it's a lot of women that's running industries and doing things now
Well, that's
more so.
exactly what it just said. But go ahead,
But that's what
Rassha.
but I'm saying, don't you think the number is higher than what it's
I
The
think
saying?
I
number is
think the
not
numbers
in
are
there.
accurate. The numbers are accurate, and I'm looking at an article back in 2017, and it was talking about prosperity in the Black community and the Latino community.
Do you want to share
Right.
that,
And the
Rasha?
prosperity report, sure, the prosperity
Okay.
report is
Mm-hmm.
called Report by Prosperity Now, and it was an institute of the policy studies.
Okay.
They were saying that the median wealth income for Black households is projected to reach zero by 2053, and the Latinos would be following by 2073. So these numbers are pretty much accurate. Even though there are a lot of entrepreneurs that are out there now, but as far as like the job statistics, that's pretty accurate.
Wow.
So
You were
we're on it. We're on
right.
that. We're
No,
on
I'm
that.
just I'm
So
that's
do
my
you have that,
question.
Rasha?
That's
Say
my
again.
question
You want to
because
show
I
that?
see
You want to
so
share
many
what you have?
women doing I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't have it on
No,
my
I'm saying,
computer.
no, I'm asking Rasha. Does she want to share what she
I didn't
has?
have it on my computer. I had it on my phone.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
okay, okay.
With so many women
I'm
doing
sorry,
things, you would think that the number or whatever would
but
be
if you look
greater
it
than,
up,
but it's
But that's
2053.
exactly what it said, though. But if you read it at the
wow.
Yeah,
bottom, that's exactly what it said. It
that's
said
what it's
that,
showing. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that
it
was my
said that.
question though. Go ahead. That was just a question.
yeah. I believe those numbers are accurate.
Wow.
Okay, so let me come back over here.
People, we need to get it
We
together.
we do. We really do. We need to
Yes,
be able
I'm
to
trying to have
strength
faith.
ourselves. But that's why there's a lot
Okay,
people that
so
are
Stina,
moving
at
out
the
of the
bottom,
country.
though, at the bottom it says, Black women tend to have higher labor force participation rate than
Hmm.
Hispanic, Asian, or white women. It is
Right.
letting you do the math. It's saying that it is much higher. It is much higher.
Um,
That's what they're
okay.
saying. And
Okay.
I'm saying we're not going to break this down to a male and female thing. This is about a household to household thing,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
So in 1924, we expected our men, any man, go out there and work. That's just the way times were. But times have changed
Right.
since then. This is 2024, and it's 2025, and things have gotten tight. The economy has gotten tight.
Hmm.
People's house notes and mortgages are higher. The
It shouldn't
Yes.
be
economy
this
as a
way.
whole is not exactly where it used to be. So we all have to get up and be a community. And guess what we have to do? We got to go to work.
Which is crazy.
Come on.
It's a must that we get
Yeah.
up and share
And
and
see, all this
not even
inflation talk
share the
speak.
load, but it is coming together because this is your home too. So this is
Right.
not a share the load moment. This is a you live here too. We live here
Right.
together
But
moment.
just like with
So
inflation, if they can make it go up, they can make it go down.
they absolutely can, but since we're not in control of any of these things, we need to be in control of ourselves
That's
and
true.
what we need to be doing, what
Absolutely
our
true.
next moves are, so we can always be one step ahead of the game, two steps, three
Right.
steps if we can. You see what I'm saying? Because to be quite
Hmm.
honest, the next game, anyways, is AI and technology.
That's
And
right.
if you are a person who don't know, who have not or not and are not up to par on the game, on your job game out there in these streets, then I'm here to tell you, if people do not decide to come together and work together as a
Right.
whole, we're going to be rewritten out of history yet again, because we won't
Again.
have any people of color in
Hmm.
the AI and technology game. So instead of us always hollering, we're so scared of this, we're so scared of that, and it can take over and can do this. It's already been decided. It's going to take over. Now we need
It
to decide: are we going to be in the game or
right.
not? Are we going to be sitting by the sidelines again, waiting for the government, somebody to come take care of us? We need to be polishing up our game so that we can fit in all situations and circumstances, make sure that we got our language together so that we can get the ear when we have the ear of a person that makes decisions, We're able to
Mhm.
talk to them with some sort of sense,
Ooh,
have a
come on.
solid conversation with people, and understand what people are dealing with every single day. So if you're not working a manual labor job, and if you're not an entrepreneur, yes, you are working for somebody.
That's
So
right.
what? That's the name of the game. We all, even if you are an entrepreneur, let's say you got your own company. Well, if your company consists of contracts, every time you sign that contract, even though you're working for yourself, now you have
You're
a
bound by
client.
the
That
contract.
client means you're working for someone else.
That's
Right.
right.
If you
That's
fix
right.
cars and you have that person's car in your care and you have to fix it, that person becomes your client. You are at the will of that person.
That's
So
right.
all of us are dependent upon one another, and it's time to get it together because we don't want to sit here and miss out on the next phase of life. Does that make
Oh,
kind of put it in
yes.
perspective?
Yeah,
You see what I'm
the
saying?
business is people, but people make the world go round. But the business is people, and people
The
need to get
business
it
is
together
people,
because this is a wake up.
and
You
our
Yes.
know,
business is also our homes and our
right? But
households, and
that's
we got to
taking
start
care of
treating it
your
as such.
business. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's
Yeah,
your business. That's right. So when we're talking about you are the leader that you've been waiting for, you best believe that you are, and ain't no fear in this. We're talking about sitting
yeah,
here busting moves in this world, and you can't be
Hmm.
making no type of commitment or busting no type of moves in fear. That's just unacceptable. So everybody's doing their part. I'm doing my part. We're doing our part. You're doing your part. Everybody's doing their part to try and get us to a place of resolve. And we should be past
hmm,
resolve right about now. We should be boots to the ground in it, at this point, because there's lots of stuff to do. So get
Yes.
off that fear factor, talking about what you're scared
yes.
of, and technology is going to be delivering your mail pretty soon.
In some places, it is.
Exactly. Come on, it's
Hmm.
time to move on. So, anyways, introduction. So this is the introduction of the book and where it starts at. So that I got a sample footer text, and I didn't want a footer text because it's the right date, but I just didn't want that sample footer text in here. So at any rate, it says, imagine sitting in the day where you have emotions that lights and they go out due to the fact that nobody had moved. People could almost feel overwhelming sense that if the lights are not fully out at work, then it's definitely dim. You show up, you complete your task, you check off your to-do list, and there's still kind of a dim light. So this is literally talking about that day, that moment where you're sitting at work and you're not feeling it,
Hmm.
right? You're just like, forget this. I can't win. Management's always right. Management always thinks they're right. Management's always making decisions that don't fit me. Management's not always taking people into consideration.
Mm.
Management is always making, all of these in their meetings, and they're always patting their pockets, making sure that they have. But when it comes to people, they're not making sure that their workers have. Right. So this is that moment when the lights literally go off in your head, and that negativity about how you feel about your job is just, it's there. It's hanging low over your head. So in that moment, it asks another question: who turns on the light? So if that light is broken, and we know that light is an ancient symbol for consciousness in life, and every day, everything that we do are reminders of that power of light, because light,
Mm.
enlightenment, and everything else that has to do with that, right? That starts to
Mhm.
be faded, and every day it's harder and harder to wake up and go to work.
Yeah.
That fusion is known as being in the dark. And so when you're in a dark mood, you can become depressed, or opposite, when you're in a happy mood, you can become radiant. There's that
Hmm.
word for light again. So enlightenment is associated with the highest degree of awareness and wisdom. That's a powerful combination.
Yes.
And when the light, consciousness, and vitality of your work darkens, it also darkens your sense of purpose. It can darken it can dull your sense of direction. And sometimes some people question their value. You can literally feel like you're in the dark, like feeling your way around. And reconnecting is an essential act of leadership when that happens. When that light bulb goes out and it breaks on you when you're at work and you don't want to come home and tell your spouse, I'm not going back to work.
Mm.
I'm done. I hate them. I hate the way things are going. Paycheck's always small. They take out too many taxes. And essentially, it's just working from paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a certain disparity that happens when we feel like our jobs are not the solution any longer. So in many companies and workplaces around, people are looking for a leader to come along and put that spark back, to turn that light bulb on, right? To literally fix that broken light for me, right? They're looking for someone to inspire them and to make their work more meaningful. But you should know that no matter if you have a great teacher, a great leader, a great mentor, a great role model, they can only point you in the way. But to transform you is something only you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, your choices and actions will improve your work life. So we have up here integrity traits. All right. Express gratitude when other people help you. Because some people are hateful, right? You have run into those people at work and you go, oh, thank you. And they just look at you crazy. Did she just say thank you to me? It's like, oh, wow. I'm about to get beat up for something that I normally just do, which is thank people, right? Value, honesty, and openness. And honesty and openness is very subjective. Some
Mm-hmm.
people's openness and honesty is a bit much, and some people know how to hit the ball right in the ballpark, right? Home run, score. Are you responsible and accountable for your actions, good or bad? That's something people are working on every single day. Is that accountability factor and that responsibility factor actually rolls from home to work, home to work, home to work. And when you hear outside conversations outside of your job, especially when it comes to relationships, you're going to always hear that responsibility and accountability for your actions, good or bad. It's a conversation that comes up almost 100% of the time. One person is not being very accountable. One person is not being very responsible, right? So as an integrity trait, that means you also go to work with that. And when you are a team player and you don't pull your own weight, you are essentially leaving people hanging the same way you probably do at home. So that one right there is a dual situation. If you fix one, you fix the other.
Mm-hmm.
Respect yourself and others around you, no matter who you are, no matter who they are respecting people, right? We hear people always hollering about these titles. I don't care about their title. I don't care about their position. Who do they think they are? Who do they think they are? When, to be quite honest, a lot of that is the insecurity within us projecting on the person who has the light. And then we tend to say, we don't care about their title. We don't care about anything that they do. When, yes, we do, especially if that person is the key to the hookup. That person is the key to getting you a promotion. That person is the key to having the ear of other people whom you would like to be in company of. If that person has what you need, positions and titles then become everything. And it's a respect factor. Nobody's saying
Mhm.
kiss their butts, but we are saying definitely respect a person with more and don't let your insecurity show up, but rather let your sense, your security show up. Hi, nice to meet you. Oh my gosh, you're over this department. Well, you know what? Wow, it must take a lot. You have questions. Then is the time to sit here and ask that person the questions that you need. But you can't grasp a good conversation with people you're insecure with or you're insecure around. It makes you look at them like, ugh, right? And so we don't want to be projecting insecurities. We want to be projecting securities. When these people with these position and titles see us, that we are doing what we're supposed to say, do, right? We are saying the things that is right and exact. And we are helping our coworkers because we all want to get through a total day.
Can I
You
say
are
something?
reliable and trustworthy. You help those in need without sacrificing your own
Mhm.
health. Some people can't say no type situation, right? And so we have to create
Mhm.
boundaries, right? If this job is killing you, if these people are killing you, then it's definitely time for you to make an executive decision because your health is at risk. And are you patient and flexible even when unexpected obstacles show up? That's something I think we're all working with. Bills pop up, things that we may have to do,
Mhm.
kids get sick, your car stopped working, you got 10 feet of snow to dig out of so you can't get to work. That's
I
that
think
type of thing.
I think
Go
Sakina
ahead.
has something she wanted to interject in.
I kind of want to say, because at the end you made me think of that when people say, "What would Jesus do?" and you say, "Get away from them," because they don't know. Because you know what I'm saying? Because you don't wait for to figure out what's gonna when people they act. You see what I'm saying? This just made me think of that when you said that. But it was something else you said with this integrity. It was because you never know who you may meet. It was something that you was rolling on. So I was saying I wanted to say that you never know who you may meet outside of this job. And when the real you show up or that whatever you show up, that integrity and all of that, if they see you somewhere else, they're gonna remember that.
Absolutely.
They're gonna remember that.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to throw that in right quick so you could, you know what I'm saying? Because especially when you're a representation of the company, right? You know, some of these platforms and social medias and whatnot, I can't say platforms, but I'm saying social medias, they were really heavy on people on Facebook and
Mhm.
some of the posts and stuff that they were doing. And then people were losing their job behind that based on the job's
Yes.
integrity. Right? Come on
Yes.
in. So this is
Yes.
a good point you bring
Absolutely.
it in. So that's all I want to throw in there so you could kind of get in
Yeah.
because
Don't you find, and I find it very interesting too that, you know, this this last slide says, right? This light bulb is clearly broken.
Mhm.
And it's saying help, right? My lights don't work, meaning I have just hit a new low. But in this next slide, isn't it interesting how they're talking about integrity? So your integrity really never leaves. The feeling may be there. You may be feeling dark, but your integrity is always with you. And that's why it says that great leaders and teachers and mentors and role models, they can only point the way, but to transform you, you can only do that because you have to remember that the better qualities are still within you. The
that's
same
right.
way the bad qualities are. You have to figure out how to override that,
Come
right?
on.
Because you never leave yourself, and yourself is jam packed with all types of stuff.
Like I always
Take
say, when the
yourself wherever
student
you
is
go.
ready, the teacher will appear. And you want to treat these people with respect, kindness, in a professional manner, because you never know where your help is going to come from. You might need them to do something for you. And if you've been acting nasty and snotty to them the whole time, how are you going to fix your mouth to ask them for help?
I'm telling you, because projection
So,
is real, Rasha, right?
yeah.
People will project their insecurities on you all the time, especially if you're doing things that they would like to do. So sometimes
Mhm.
people see themselves in a top position in a top spot. However, they don't have the tools necessary to be in that top spot. We all would, we all fantasize about, hey, what would we do if we were in that top spot? But
And see,
you've
look.
got to factor in that
Mhm.
people groom themselves to be like that. That's just not how you are. You literally have to be groomed. So whether someone else
Mhm.
grooms you and picks you up as a leader, teacher, mentor, or role model, but for the most part, you are responsible for you, right?
And it's
So
so
you
true.
have to know how to pick yourself up when times get dark, and especially when it comes to our job, because our job is not a thing that we play with. Most of us are already one or two, three paychecks away from being completely homeless. It is a
Correct.
fact.
That is so true.
It is a fact. Paycheck does not come through. That rent is going to be hard pressed. That causes unnecessary fights with the other people in your household. We're not trying to do all that. That's that old school stuff.
Mhm.
We have solutions these days,
And that's how it
right?
pronounces
Much
stuff where
better
they're becoming
solutions.
unaccountable. They're not accountable with themselves. They're always trying to ask questions. And like you said, they project their insecurities onto the people that they're working with because they are not aware of their surroundings or they're aware
Hmm.
of their surroundings, but they don't respect their
They
surroundings.
don't respect it. They're
So that's the biggest problem that they have to overcome in order to thrive in this type of setting. They're going to have to get themselves together. And one lady asked the question, "Oh, so we got to change ourselves?" Yes, you have to change yourself for the setting that you're in. If you're at home, you could act a certain way at home. If you're in public, you can act a certain way in public. If you're in a professional setting, you need to act accordingly. So that's why you need to
absolutely
govern yourselves accordingly.
accordingly. Come on,
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah, because because again, one thing that we all do is we pack up ourselves and take ourselves everywhere. And
Right, and
people
you
are
taking
looking at
luggage,
this.
you taking all your
Yeah,
baggage with you. You better
that's true.
leave that
But
at the
people are
we
door.
looking at you.
also have to pick and choose
Your battles.
jobs
Mhm.
that you can be successful in, or
Yes,
you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, because you got nurses
Yes,
out here that don't care,
they
and that's
don't.
one of the basic things for nurses is to be caring. So if you
Mhm.
don't care, we have a problem.
right.
Maybe you're in the wrong field. You're right, because
Exactly.
everybody should enjoy a job, especially one that you wanted, one that you are aimed for. This is your goal, and to move up in the corporate ladder. And this is the things y'all teaching. So in order to do this, right? Yeah, you supposed to show up with you, the better you,
And a
right?
The
lot of
better
these
you.
young
So, right.
nurses are
So in
messing
this
up.
professional building, we expect
Even if it is for 8 hours
professionalism.
of the day, we want you
This
to
is
transform
right.
completely. But even if it is 8 hours a day, yes, you need to
Yeah,
be
that's
the
what we
best
pay you
you.
to do. That's what we pay you to do.
Absolutely.
You can do anything you want to for free.
Are you Gen Z, Gen X? Well, see, these young people are really messing up.
Okay, but that exactly. So I'm finna
They're
shut
really
up
messing.
because y'all still dealing with
You
these
can what
young
you
people.
say that again, Sakina. You can do anything you want to be anything you
Yeah,
want
you
for
can.
free.
Yeah, you
Yeah, that's
can for
right.
free. You can do anything you want to for free, but when it be the blank and your ribs hitting your back, then what's the problem?
You
Well,
what,
you.
what
So
you
I'm gonna be quiet because
thank you, Mr.
this is
Laney. You got a
good,
cup of
y'all.
coffee, Miss Laney? Thank you, Mr. Laney. You
This
need your
is
cake,
good. Let me be
Mrs.
quiet.
Laney.
But look, I wanted to piggyback off what Sakina was saying about the nursing. A lot of these young women are messing themselves up. They have went to school to develop themselves for a career in nursing, and when they get there, they're blowing it. So this one young lady, she went through school. She's now a nurse, and she's working in the hospital, and she sees a girl on the street that's her rival. Why did the girl post this girl's medical information online? She's done.
Wow.
All of that schooling,
Wow.
all of that effort is for naught because now she didn't know how to control herself or govern
That's
herself
right.
accordingly in the position that she was in. Some other young ladies, they were working in a it wasn't a convalescent home, but it probably was assisted living. They're abusing the patients taunting the patient. And these are
Mhm.
young people.
Yeah,
So,
this is
like you said,
neglect.
you have
Right.
to have a trait of care. You got to watch the
Yes.
position, the position that you're choosing. You need to make sure that it's right for you. But even if it's not right for you, act accordingly. Act the way you're supposed to be acting, because it's not worth it. It's not worth the
It's really
embarrassment of
not.
yourselves, your family, your community, yourself.
Hmm. That's good. That's so unfortunate. I hate to hear that a person would put somebody violate a HIPAA, law and put someone else's business out there
A new nurse.
because of a projected insecurity.
Right.
We're gonna have to work on that because that happens a lot more
It's
than we
online,
talk
so
about.
everybody can see.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds like a great next show. It really does. But at any rate, so it says,
Who
who
turns
turns the
on the
lights on,
light?
right? So creating desired results with meaning and integrity. So they use words here like high performance and high fulfillment. So high performance is just about actively pursuing your goals and bringing them into fruition. So if you have any type of goals that you're working on, how can you how can you bring that to the forefront and actively turn your goal into something that can make you money, something that can bring you some sort of satisfaction, right? Brings you some sort of it does, it activates somewhere else in your life. So high performance still is about you. The
Mhm.
body is a high performer, right? We are high performing people. We have the capacity to be high performing. So when they're saying high performing, they're still talking about yourself, right? It's
Mhm.
about actively pursuing your goals and bringing them into fruition. Your goals, right? Then it says the performance side of the equation engages you in the creative process. So that creative process is what we need to bring anything into action, to activate it. The creative process helps entrepreneurs. It's why so many great entrepreneurs out here, people who have
Mhm.
their own businesses, people who decided to step out for a little bit. The COVID, when we had that COVID situation
Mhm.
going on,
A lot of entrepreneurs.
it brought out more creative people
Mhm.
than we've ever seen. Like who knew? Because when it was down to survival, it kicked in for certain people. That
Mhm.
survival switch kicked in, made that person into a high performer. Okay, a high performer is a person that can actively bring their goals into reality.
Mhm.
Okay. So high fulfillment. High fulfillment is your inner work experience between your actions and your values. It guides you to a deeper level of integrity. And that deeper level of integrity is that self awareness that you all had mentioned, where you have to only realize you are bringing yourself everywhere you go.
Mhm.
That integrity factor has to be there. It has to be there, right? So when you sit and say, when we go out together as girls and I see your purse, that means, yeah, go give it to you. That means I don't get through it for your lipstick that I like so much.
Mhm.
Take it home and wear it and then tell you, oh, girl, I ain't seen your stuff at all. Knowing it's right on
That's
my
like
lips,
integrity and
integrity. Like we
integrity.
have we have to start being,
Mhm.
go back to the times when they would ask, hey, are you, I'm not her, am I my brother and sister's keeper? No, not necessarily. You're not. But for the survival of us and the integrity of a community, then yes. So that
Mhm.
depends too. It really depends. So it says authentic leadership is determined by the depth of awareness, skill, and your presence that you bring to your actions and interactions. I like the way that starts off. Authentic leadership is determined by the depth. That means, are you shallow or are you deep when it comes to the integrity factor
Mm.
or anything else that you perceive about yourself? Right?
Or
Those
do
are
you only
things
have
that,
integrity when someone's watching?
oh, come
How
on,
about
Rassha.
that?
Wow. Wow. Yeah, don't hurt them, Hammer. Don't hurt them. Um, And it says right here in your presence that you bring to your actions and interactions, because yeah, you can come to work combative, you
Mm-hmm.
can come to work codependent, you can come to work stressed out, or you can come to work with you in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that the next time you come to go to work, look at it very differently, change your perspective and
That's
see
right.
where you, if you can get in, where you can fit in somewhere. Because I'm going to tell you, life is 360, which means that it's always movement, and it's about movement, but it's about proper movement and proper steps.
But
It's
Gemini,
not just
that is
about,
so true. That is so true. Because sometimes you get caught up in your feelings on different activities or actions that either you missed out on or you weren't able to partake on, and you get so bogged down with that feeling like, okay, I missed out, I wasn't able to do it, I'm not gonna participate any longer, or I'm not gonna move forward any longer, I'm gonna turn my light off, I'm gonna shut it down.
I'm going to
But in
dim
the
it.
end, it
That's right.
hurts you, and the business still going on. In the end of the day, something happens to you, you will be replaced. Someone else
Mm,
will be sitting in that seat. Now, if you had the fortitude to say, take this loss and use it as a learning curve or learning experience to move you forward and not stifle you, or as my daughter say, becoming institutionalized, you can make it work. You can make it work. Because I usually tell her, well, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta make sure you have this. You sound institutionalized.
I know, girl. That's my word. I
We've been
love that word,
institutionalized, but now
institutionalized.
the
Yes.
light bulb is on and we are moving. So get on this
Because
train if you want to.
yeah, I mean, seriously. And so, but when over here for the defining desired outcomes, there are some things to think about. The first thing I like the number one. The number one says gain clarity. Do you know gaining clarity is just as much is the same
Yes.
equivalent as to sleep, as
Mm.
to rest? When you gain clarity, oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
that
Like,
light bulb is
ah!
burning past radiance. It's an illumination that hits your
Yes.
entire body and causes you to move
Yeah.
in
And
a
keep you
way
tapped
that is
in.
befitting for the person. So
Yes.
gaining clarity is the end all and be all to almost everything. When you got clarity, you have it all.
Yes.
You actually have some things that make sense now that's bigger than yourself. Okay. So number two, motivation and focus. Yeah, because gaining clarity, it will automatically cause a motivation within you. And in that focus is so clear. It's like the lenses of life just kind of clear up for you in that moment so that you can know what your next steps are going to be.
Mm.
So then they have the measure in progress. Well, if we were to measure the amount of clarity that one has gained, it would be in the actions of that person. You will see a person start moving a little bit different. Why? Because they had a moment of clarity. The light bulb came on, right? So now it all makes sense. So now when I come back to work, I'm not going to have that same attitude that I used to have. You're not going to hear that rah rah in the back of my throat. Something made better sense today than yesterday. So now I'm not coming in to work combative or codependent. I'm
Mm-hmm.
coming in there with that, whatever that was, that clarity in mind, right? So we measure progress by how we move. So then prioritize spending. That's going to be in everything that we do. Money is going to always be a factor. Money is going to always be a factor. It's going to continue being a factor. Even when we're dead and gone, money is going to always be a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Adaptability and flexibility, meaning that no matter I would use myself for an example where with this other position I was comfortable at that job, my old department. I didn't want to leave because I knew the work, but knowing the work, okay, there's more to know then, evidently, because here's
Right.
a promotion, here's some other work. This work is going to benefit you. How? Monetarily. And it may benefit me in other ways once I actually start getting into the groove of things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Once I actually start moving around and seeing all of what they do, then it starts to benefit me in other ways. So being adaptable and flexible even when we're comfortable with something does not mean you don't have to get up and move. Sometimes you got to get up and move around, even with the things you're comfortable in. So it's easy to withdraw and become cynical and to disengage and to, quite frankly, stay asleep on your own leadership potential. But this isn't effective or motivating when you do that. All right, when you sleep on your own leadership potential, it's not conducive for anything. It just leads to more self-loathing. So authentic leadership, I think we touched on this. Authentic leadership is not determined by your title or position, but by the depth of your awareness. And we had mentioned understanding who that person of power and position is, what that means for you. Because when you are on the fence about if your only game plan and your only play is to think about yourself, then guess what? Even you have to do that strategically. Right? So when we sit and say that authentic leadership is not determined by your title or position, but by your depth of awareness, yeah, become aware about your work surroundings. Make things work for you.
That's right. Good stuff.
Okay? Yeah, and we're not talking about sabotaging other people and things of that sort. No,
Is this gonna
we're not
catch up?
talking about that. Yeah, it's going to catch up eventually. Absolutely. But we're talking about making sure that you understand what game is out there being played and how can you gain effectively from it. You might be the very thing that a person needs in their department or the very thing that a person needs for anything. You don't know that until you stop self-projecting, clean yourself up, polish yourself up a little bit, and make people want to respect the words that are coming out of your mouth. A lot of times people don't hear you because they don't respect you too. They see you coming, they're ready to go the other way. Because you're the person who complains at work all the time. You're the person who's cynical all the time. You're the person who's disengaged and find 50 million reasons not to come to the meetings. You're the person who, so when they see you automatically, they don't want to hear anything that you have to say. So your depth of self-awareness has to be just that. You have to start becoming aware of the things why people are not attracted to you. Why people don't really want to be bothered. That's a real thing. A lot of people don't know themselves. They know everything except themselves. Right? So it says your character speaks better volumes than a position or a title. So when they're talking about characteristics, we're talking about things like courage, humor, service, wisdom, compassion, vision. So you got a person with a position or a title, those are the things that you should be looking for in those people. Not projecting an insecurity, but see where some of these things, where that person could possibly help you in your future endeavors.
And then, Sean, Gemini, let me say this: don't become the poster child for conflict. Just like Gemini was saying, if they see you coming, they're like, "Oh, let me turn the other way." They got a complaint. They're coming with some funny business. They're coming with some games. They're coming with some type of issue, and then make sure your people, the peers that are surrounding you, are not just pushing you up to bail the cat. Because when the dust clears, guess who's going to be left standing?
Come on.
So we need to be really
good.
strategic and aware about what's going on in our surroundings. We need to be able to read between the lines. You don't have to dissent everything. If you don't agree with it, you don't have to speak up about it. You could think about it. You could see how you could work around it and become a problem solver for yourself. You're the solution based entity in your own life. How do I make this work for me? Just like she's saying, turn on your light. And where does a light shine best? In darkness. So if everyone around you's light is broken, pull yours up, regroup, reskill your tools up, turn that light bulb on.
Turn that light bulb on. Come on.
Right?
I like light bulb falls, breaks.
Because the bulb will break if you allow it to.
And it's only broken for a little while because you can replace it. So
You
we're not
can't
gonna act
replace
like
it.
right. We can't
Yep.
replace
Let the
them lights
past
because
stay
we
in the
absolutely
past and
can't.
move forward.
Yes. So in the caption here though, it says you are a powerful creator. The proof is
Yes.
in your results. Are you creating the results you desire? The proof is in your results. You are in existence. You are a powerful creator. We have children with one another, for Pete's sake.
Hmm.
You think that's the only thing that we can create is other people? No, there's some other things we absolutely can create, and we have tons of books and tons of information out there about how to teach people to or instruct people to live their own best life, not the best life that you was raised with, the best life that you was brought up in. No, your own best life, right? You
Yeah.
have to be thinking more about self and less about everything else,
Right.
and less about projecting. So, shift your focus. There is something deep within you that knows what you're here to do. Now, remember that chapter on belief from our last Strength Finder series? I mean, I swear this puts me right here into that moment. So this person here, this is Zindane. Zindane, he is a gosh, he's some sort of athlete. So he says it's hard to explain, but I have a need to play intensely every day, to fight every match hard. And this desire never stops fighting. It's something else I learned in the place where I grew up. Sounds like the hood to me. Who is that?
Oh, that's me.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what's going on in the background?
I thought I was muted. Listen, let me mute up. I'm trying to be quiet so I can listen.
Okay. So it says that so it says you must move into finding your authentic work. To follow this path is to be an authentic leader. So the authentic leader becomes yourself then. It is saying it is your birthright. You were born unique with gifts to contribute to this world. It is
Hmm.
easy to forget this along the way, but you can lead yourself back to this place.
Hmm.
Pursuing the path of authentic leadership back into the place that will lead to more purpose, right? So they had a story here about this guy named Mullah Nasruddin. So let me read Mullah for you. This is a Sufi story. So it says the Mullah Nasruddin was discovered late one night, evening on his hands and knees, searching intently in the road beneath the street lamp. His friend coming upon him in this position asks, Mullah, what are you looking for? And Nasruddin replied, I am searching for my keys. Where did you lose them? The friend inquired. Across the street, was the ready reply. Then why, asked the confused friend, are you searching so intensely over here? Oh, explained Nasruddin, looking up. The light here is much better.
That makes sense. Get that light. Get that light.
The light here is much better, but he lost his keys across the street in the darkness. And we're saying
Hmm.
in that story is saying, go back into the dark and find your
And
keys.
take your light. Hmm.
And that's right. Go back into the dark and find your keys. Find yourself again. You
Hmm.
can do it. Find yourself. But it can't be in the brightest spot, right? This is
Hmm.
where we do all that projection, and this is where we fill in with all those things that really don't matter. We fill ourselves up when we're looking for ourselves,
Hmm.
right? We hope to find ourselves in the light somewhere, but a lot of times the last place we saw ourselves was in all that darkness. Did we forget to go pick ourselves and all our things up that matter, take it from the dark back to the light? Highly doubt it. So we got some work to do. Do not go looking for yourself in the lightest place, knowing that you didn't leave nothing there. You just got to that light.
Hmm.
right? So I think this is the last page. So this is just the introduction. The first and this right here, this is chapter one. Shift your focus. That is the first chapter, and that's the way the book opens up. So before we get to our corporate sponsor, because we do have one, what do you guys think about this book so far?
It's just showing us that we have what we need. We just need to tap into our self resources to make sure that we are putting ourselves together and showing ourselves in the best light. But then we have to make a determination. Am I going to look at my circumstances around me, or am I going to look at the bigger picture? Yeah, I might have a pitfall that I need to jump over to get to where I need to get to, but am I going to secure myself, give myself the self love that I need to get to where I need to get to? Making sure that I'm putting myself in the best light and making sure that I have all of the information that I need to make better choices in my corporate situation. So this is a really excellent book. It helps me to shift my focus as well. Like, okay, well, wait a minute. I've been thinking about looking at all this stuff, all this work we have to get done, and feeling the tug of it instead of being excited about it. Hey, look, this is something I get to resolve. This is something I get to show my best self, doing what I do best, making things happen
Yeah,
when they don't happen.
perspective shift.
Perspective shift. Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on,
absolutely.
Sakina, what you
Because
think?
what it does is because we saw on that, right? We saw
Uh-huh.
on the one thing here, our health, right?
Yes.
Helping those in need without sacrificing your own health. That's an integrity trait that you have to hold
Mhm.
up, as you need to hold up for a standard for yourself. Because if we don't go into work looking like, and even though it could be the most terrible work, we're not doubting that, right? Come
Mhm.
on, we're not doubting how terrible some of our jobs are. But if you look at it in the right perspective, it will not weigh you down negatively on the physical side. So there is a perk or a benefit to thinking about your job in a positive light so that it don't wear you down. It's almost like that old saying where people would say, forgiveness is not for the other person, forgiveness is for you.
Move on. And guess
So
what?
this is
On
the
this
same as that.
on this particular side, just to piggyback off of what you just said, there's a little light bulb at the bottom. It says better up.
Hmm.
Leveling up, better up. Get
That's
better at
right.
what you're doing. Get better at being forgiving. Get better at being self introspective. Get better at looking into the needs of others and looking into the needs of yourself as well. So if someone's drowning, you need to throw them a life saver, one of those little life rafts. You don't want them to pull you down into the water with them. You want to give them a hand up. They need to reach for their assistance as well.
Absolutely. And if you are Superman or woman, right, those who go and save the day,
You're
you
gonna put on the
still,
cape.
integrity still is telling you, think about yourself too. Do not
That's
sacrifice
right.
your own health,
Don't.
right? For the sake of this job or anything else. But the way that you do that and still keep a job is you have
Mhm.
to change the way you see the job. If you
Right.
still see it as this terrible monster, it
Right.
is going to tear you
That's,
up
that's
before you tear
draining.
it up.
It takes away your
Look how many
resources.
people retire and never even get to enjoy their retirement because they died after
Mm.
working all that time, and all these people die or catch a serious illness because they didn't stop working, or
Hmm.
they didn't have a self-care plan kind of factored into their 30 years of work. You got to have a self help care plan too. You have to think about
Hmm.
yourself too. So integrity is still helping those, but without sacrificing your own health. And the only way you're going to do that is changing your perspective about the way you see your job, so that your job can
Hmm.
stop making you sick.
Mm. Steve.
I just wanted to add in
So,
there too that what you said, and just kind of spin off with it a little, because it's like you said, adding yourself into that job, being a part of that bigger picture, that microcosm of the macrocosm, right?
mhm,
That way, because if you see it that way, again, you take pride in your work, you take pride in the things you do, right? All of this character building and everything. This goes back into the other book you was talking about. You see what I'm saying? So all of this is
Right.
wonderful. I'm just sitting back listening. But yeah, and I want to tell Salah Ben, no, I'm not eating little Debbie cakes. I'm pulling I'm pulling little I'm pulling lumpia, well they're lumpia wrappers, but they're like egg roll wrappers. So I thought I was being quiet. But yes, but again, that's that's real good because
Yeah.
I don't think people really understand that integrity, because it's part of
Oh,
that
right.
reputation, right? And when your reputation supersedes you and your integrity, and people know you by your name and not even seeing your face, right? And
Mm.
this is a part of
Yes.
a background check. And sometimes you see what I'm saying, they know you coming all but based on your name and they never saw you, but they might have heard you down the block. And when they finally see you,
Right.
to be like, that's her, but they knew you by your name. So I'm gonna be
Yeah.
quiet. But
Yeah.
keep
It
on
says your
going. I'm
job
listening.
supersede. You like to sit and say your reputation supersedes you.
Listen here.
That's
That's
something that Sakina says. But wait, listen. So we have a corporate sponsor. I'm getting ready to sit here and introduce it. I'm
Okay.
so happy to sit here and have. I know, right? Right. And so,
All
hey,
right.
hey, we done moved into the big time.
All
So we have
right. Look at this
owner of
gorgeous.
Miscellaneous Staffing, right in Kansas City. Her name is Latasha Crawford. So not only is she has a corporate workforce development here in Kansas City, she also owns a her very first business was the staffing agency here. So she still employs. She works with the workforce development, of course, here in Kansas City. She employs people from janitorial services all the way to digital and technical work.
It's
Even
amazing.
she has telework, virtual work, remote work, and she's connected to a lot of other people. So even though this is a person here in Kansas City, the staffing agency, they network with one another. So there may be jobs in your area too. I don't know. You would just have to sit here and reach out. So let's see if I can get this commercial playing, y'all. Let me know if we can hear it this time, because last time we
Okay.
couldn't hear a daggone thing. So hold on.
we can't hear it, but we see it for sure.
Hmm. Well, it looks beautiful.
It really do.
This is wonderful.
Did you did were you able to
We were able
Tech,
to
were
see
you
it,
able to
but we
hear
weren't
that?
able to hear it. No.
Okay, so still not able to hear it. So I have to work on that
Well,
that
Yeah.
definitely get in
that
touch if you're
volume.
in that
Sorry
area.
about
Get in
y'all.
touch with Natasha, and I believe she said she has hybrid positions that you don't have to be on site to work. So
Wow.
definitely
She branched
get that
out. That's
website.
come on. That's franchise. That's wonderful. Is this
And
downtown
here is
Kansas
it
City?
is. Yep,
That is
this
so
is. It's another.
beautiful.
Yep, this is our Kansas City.
Wow.
All right.
I know. So
Beautiful.
there's the information there. Latasha Crawford at www.missstaffing.com. And the telephone number is 816-965-2358. And I actually say this, y'all, so that we can't hear it. Let's see if
There was a little button over there that said
uh
unmute. Did you see it? It was
no, let me pull
playing, and
that
then it
back
said
up because I
unmute.
wanted to hear or here.
Oh, see it right there on that one. It says unmute at the top.
Okay. Let's see if y'all can hear it outside of that. Am I still sharing the screen?
Yes. So it's showing. You're hitting
Okay.
play.
Let me know if, yep, let me know if you can hear it this way. Sorry about that.
No.
All right. Did you even see that she even had things for felonies? Did you see that
I
felons?
saw that.
So
That's what I said. That was
yeah,
beautiful. So, and
if you
she
are
had
a
hybrid
felony,
positions. So I don't know if you have to be in the Kansas City area to
yes.
apply, but just definitely go to that website or call that number and check in. This may be a great opportunity for you.
Yes, I absolutely love her commercial. Her and her husband did that.
Oh yeah, that's excellent.
Okay, okay. So going back to where we. Oh shucks. Okay. I need to take that, Sally. I'm going to take your steal your copyright disclaimer and put it in the bar because I really need to do that. So, okay, ladies, that is the end of the presentation that I have for you today. And we're going to be, again, crafting more personal development books, open as the need, as we pay attention to the news and, understand what's going on in our world. And then we can see how we can get in, where we can fit in,
Makes sense to
right?
me.
And
Again,
so,
thank you
because
for
that's the whole
joining
point of
us.
it.
Thank you all for joining us. This was a wonderful presentation. If you like the content that you're listening to today, please like, share, and subscribe and hit that follow button.
Okay, and Sakina and Rassha, stay on after the show. So let me sit here and in the stream. Thank you, Salih Binya.
Thank you
Thank you,
all.
James
Thank
Yes.
Davis.
you.
Stay tuned. I'll be live later.
Yeah, they're always hanging out with us. I really appreciate that so much. Apparently, they have jobs and they need this kind of information. So
Yes.
that much love
Very, very
to you for
intricate.
sure.
Very intricate. Very
All
intricate.
right, have a good one.